What I have here to show you guys today, this is my classic modular mate demonstration. This is something that I learned from Judy, and Judy, it'll be 14 years. 14 years this year. My anniversary is 4th of July, so I can always remember that. I must have just been celebrating that year and just joined Tupperware for some reason. But anyway, I'm loving it, loving it. But this is the demonstration that I learned 14 years ago from Judy, and it still works. It's a great demo. So what I'm going to do is just kind of spotlight some word choices, some tips, some things about the modular mates, because everybody has their own demonstration style. But if you know the word choices and the features, the features and the benefits of the modular mates, I think that can kind of help you. So here's the set that I personally like to show when I go do a party. And of course, we can do an in-home demonstration. We can also do this via Zoom. I do a lot of Zoom parties. I do a lot of bingos where I just kind of theme something. So I have this set up and talk about it in the beginning of my Tupperware bingo because I still want to sell Tupperware. But this is something also that I use. This is a little chart that you can buy these at Office Max or Home Depot. Office Depot. Home Depot might have them. I don't know. But this is like a little flip chart that helps me stay focused because I am all over the place sometimes. And so when somebody asks me a question at a party, I know you guys might be the same way. It distracts you and you forget what you were talking about. So this kind of keeps me planted. And it's all about the modular mates and how they work. So the first one that I'm going to go through with you guys is the features and the benefits of the modular mates, because like Judy said, they're on sale. They're going to save our customers time, money, energy, and space. So that's how you want to position these. You don't want to just talk about, oh, they're going to save you money. You're not going to have to throw food away when someone is in a situation where they would never throw food away. Even if it's stale, their family's going to eat it. They're not throwing it away. And so you hate to push that when maybe they're really pressed for time. Maybe they really need some extra space in their pantry. So all of these are going to be very crucial. The way that they save us time is obviously when you this beautiful, like Heather had at her daughter's house, this beautiful setup really saves us time in the kitchen when we're trying to pull out what we need and what we're trying to get ready for dinner. Another thing is they're going to save money because when the liquid airtight seals that they have, the two ways that they're going to save our customers money is when someone puts a piece of food in one of these, it's going to save them money because they're not going to throw the product away. They're not going to, the food away. Food's going to last longer. We always say it's going to get double the life that you would normally get out of it, if not longer than that. And then it's also going to save us money because we're not going to duplicate buy. Kind of back to the time thing. When you look at this and you get ready to make a grocery list, how easy is that? You literally can open your pantry, look at what you have and what you don't have, because they're clear and sheer, and you don't have to pick up boxes and wondering if the family put the cereal back half eaten or the crackers are empty and the box is just sitting in there. You can just simply see it. So saving you money as far as not throwing away foods that are gone stale, and then also not duplicate buying things. We always say, how many times do you come home from the grocery store and you just bought powdered sugar and you find 3 packs of powdered sugar tucked away in the very back of the pantry? Well, that was kind of wasting money, right? So you're not going to do that when you have your powdered sugar in a modular mate. Energy, they're going to save all of us energy because I always say at my parties, we typically are the ones that buy the food, cook the food, eat the food, prepare the food, put the food away. We're all about food. And so when we have this setup, this system in place with the modular mates, it's very easy to go pull my rice, my nuts, the pasta that I need for dinner, and then go put it all back exactly where it goes because everything has a place where it fits. So it becomes a system and it really saves us a lot of energy in the kitchen. And then, of course, space, because they are made with the different shapes and sizes. They're obviously going to take up way less space than if you just shove things in there. So I always tell my customers at my parties that from one shelf to another shelf in a kitchen pantry, no matter if it's a custom home or a track home has been built like Perry Homes and Lennar and all those track homes, they build their specifications to all be the same. So from one shelf to the other is typically going to be the exact same height. So they're going to work for everybody's pantry. And instead of taking a box of cereal and it coming up to the, you got all this wasted space above it, you're going to put it in a Modular Mate and you're going to stack a Modular Mate on top of it. So that leads me to my next slide, so to speak, and that's the 4 different shapes and the 5 different heights that they come in. So I'm going to run through that with you guys really fast. So the 4 different shapes that Tupperware has with our modulars is going to be the square, the classic square container. They also have the oval container. And then we have the super oval, which is an oval shape. It's just going to be a lot longer and more narrow to go back and to fill a spot that's could be a lot of, a narrow spot. And then we have the rectangle. Okay, so we have the oval, the super oval, the rectangle, and the square. And then we have 5 different heights. So we have the 5, which is the tallest, and it comes in the oval. We have the 4, we have the 3, we have the 2, and we have the 1. So it's like a little stair step there. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's super easy. So imagine typically the home builders in here in North America, they build all of their specifications the same. So you usually are going to get the height of a 5, which is going to take you from one cabinet shelf to the next cabinet shelf. But if you have found, some people can find that their shelf is actually a 6. So if it is, so we're utilizing more space, we want to take a 5 and put a 1 on it. We could take the 4 and put a 2 on it, the 3 and add a 3, the 2, a 2, a 1, and a 1, to where now we have the height of a 6 all the way in your pantry. So the whole purpose of that, the engineers that design these Legos for ladies, if you will, is so we can get more in the space that we're dealing with and not just having, products that you buy in a box down here and all that wasted space above it. Now, I always like to tell people, because at a party, people might look at this and go, oh, my pantry's not that tall, those are not going to work for me. Well, guess what? They will, because you're going to show your people that if they have the 5, they can use the 5 alone, take the 4 with the 1, the 3 with the 2, and so on, to where now they've come down to the height of a 5. Okay. Now, I always tell people maybe the 5 might work for you now at your point in life in the house that you're living in, but maybe you might move. I know a lot of us have moved in our life. Maybe you might have a camper or a boat or an RV or an apartment or a dorm or something that's got much smaller shelves. Well, Tupperware thinks of everything because they designed the fronts and the backs to be flat. So now we can lay that 5 on its side and bring that 4 down. So now we can go and take it all the way down to the height of a 4 by itself, the 3 with the 1, and so on, to where now we have everything that was the height of a 6 can now go down and be the height of a 4. And it even gets better. You can lower that 4 down and go all the way down across to where you can take it all down to the height of a 3. Okay, so 6 to 3, it's going to fit in anybody's pantry. You can take them all the way down lower if you wanted to. So these are, like I said, not only good in the kitchen cabinets, but they're great in a camper, in a motorhome, in a boat, in an apartment. I always tell people, if you've got kids living in dorms, these are great because they can literally buy those baskets that are on rollers and they can slide them under the dorm bed and bring them out, and they've got all their foods in Modular Mates that no bugs are going to get in. And we're going to get to that point too. So then I like to carry on, and I like to talk about what goes in what size. So that's where you would want to pull like maybe some, I believe it's under the Tup Now. It's the custom kitchen planning charts that talk about what goes in what size. And what I did is I printed that and I just tape it on the back of my Modular Mates. That way when I'm talking, I can just kind of look at it and I can tell people. Now this size right here, as you can see, I've got 100 tea bags in this one, but it's also good for 5 pounds of sugar, 5 pounds of flour, and you can tell them what also could fit in there, because we are very visual people, and sometimes we need help knowing, oh, I do buy flour, that's the one I need. So it's going to help their mind start going in that direction of why they would want to buy that. Okay, so you kind of want to go through and look at those charts, the uses and sizes and there's a chart out there for it. I'm sure everybody will find it and post it and do all that good stuff, so we can have that. That's where I found all that at. So you want to go through all the different shapes and sizes and what goes inside of them, because that's super important. Don't just say, oh, you can put your food in there. Because somebody like me is going to be like, I don't know what food to put in there, so I'm not buying it. And then I like to talk about no more bugs. Okay, no more bugs. Liquid airtight seal. So the creepy crawlies that come from outside, coming inside looking for food, they're not going to get inside of here. So they're not going to be attracted to anything, and they're going to hopefully leave. But the other thing is, if you go to the store and you buy, where's my flour? You buy flour, you buy some flour, you bring it home, you have a chance, like 1 out of 5 chances of bringing home what's called a weevil. If you've never seen a weevil, they look like little tiny specks of pepper. And I always tease and say, they're not standing in the aisle at the grocery store saying, hey, I'm in this food over here. They're hiding inside of the packaging, and you don't know they're in there. It's not your grocery store. It's not you. It's just a common thing in life. So don't get too stressed out about it. But when you bring home that flour, that sugar, that pasta, things that are made in a mill, they possibly could have a weevil in it. Well, if you just set that package in your cabinet, then they're going to come out and they are not nice. They're going to contaminate everything, and you're going to have to clean out your pantry and throw away everything. And it's very costly, very aggravating, and very time consuming. And I also have customers that sometimes say, oh, I just put mine in the freezer. And I always say, so you freeze your weevils, okay? So don't freeze your weevils, because they're still going to be in there, and we can get our protein from other things. We don't need it from weevils. And so I always say, you know what? You want to bring home that packaging. You want to pour it into your Modular Mate liquid airtight seal, so a weevil can't breathe, right? They got to have air, and there's no air in there. They're going to crawl to the top looking for a way to escape, and they're eventually going to pass away inside of your Modular Mate. And when you open it, you're going to see them, and you're going to be able to throw your flour, your sugar, whatever was in there away, but your Modular Mate's going to be okay. You're going to clean it. Nothing else got contaminated. So it's really going to help keep away the bugs and all that. Now, another thing that I'd like to add to this part of my demonstration and tell my customers is safety as far as bacteria goes and germs go. I don't know about you, but I've walked through the grocery store and I've touched things and then I put it back, right? I pick up a bag of chips and see how many calories are in it. And I'm like, don't need to eat that today. And I put it back. Or I think, maybe I'll buy 2 of them. So people touch things and then they put them back. People cough. People do all kinds of things. The people in the warehouse are out there loading. These things have been touched a lot. And so for us to bring home a bag of chips, I don't know about you, but I never wiped my bag of chips down with a sanitary napkin or anything like that. I just put it in the pantry, right? So you want to make sure that you get rid of the cardboard, the germs that are on all those chips and all those things we buy, and dump them in your Modular Mates. And then you're getting rid of that. You're getting those things out of your home. So these can be dishwasher safe. You can put them in the dishwasher if you want to and clean them up real good after every time, but they're really going to become a part of your pantry. You're going to come home from the grocery store and you're literally going to start opening up things, dumping them in, putting them in the pantry and moving on. It's not going to be any more of your time. And then I always like to talk about there's 3 ways to get your Modular Mates, 3 ways to get this Modular Mate. So you can become a member of Tupperware. You guys love that. Personal shoppers and people that love to sell Tupperware, you get 25% off of everything that you buy, even the sale prices. You can host a party with me. I personally will offer them a $20 off of my set if they purchase one of my larger sets when they host a party with me. And then we can talk about buying in sets. And all you have to do with buying in sets is you can take your Modular Mate flyer that's going to be for January. You can put together some of these sets and show the set and talk about them already being on sale. Or you can do something like I did and take them individually and make your own set. And I have a small, medium, and large set that I try to work with, but don't get too caught up on that. I think that's just the whole point of getting out there and talking about them and knowing how to sell them and what to say about them and how to position yourself in those. So hopefully you guys took lots of notes. If you need anything, you can always reach out to me, but I think January is going to be the month, right, Kristen? We're going to sell some Tupperware, some Modular Mates for sure.
That's awesome. Cindy, I loved that demo. I loved your flip chart to stay on track. That was excellent. Always look forward to when you do a demonstration, and several really good tips. I picked up on the 1 in 5. I didn't know that about 1 in 5 bags of flour. I knew bugs were a problem, but 1 in 5, your chances are pretty good. Way better than the lottery. So I think we all better get Modular Mates.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Cindy. And I know that Miss Judy is at the studio today and had the possibility of a customer walking in, and I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. So we're going to keep moving. Thank you, Cindy, again. Really appreciate that. And next from Bravo, just keeping with our theme of Modular Mates, are our spices. And if anything needed a piece of Tupperware, it is our spices. And I am so excited to hear what Inky Dean has to say about doing